You can understand what people are saying, but you can't say what you want to say in English. This is a common struggle people have when you're learning English as second language, and I was one of them. I didn't go to international school, so I worked on my speaking skill by myself most of the part. So in this video, I will explain to you what I did and what are the things you can do to improve your speaking. This one is for you if you want to improve your English speaking skill. I create videos to share experiences, insights I learned from books and research. On this channel, I share both what I have learned and what I continue to learn. So if this interests you, consider subscribing. One of the problems is that misunderstanding of you can improve speaking by reading a lot of English or listening to a lot of English, but they are completely different sets of skills. When you learn to read or listen English, then you're strengthening your skills of reading and listening. And then when you work on speaking, that's how you improve speaking. I think it's really simple. If you put more time and effort into output of English speaking skills, then you will learn to speak better. In traditional educational system, people put a lot more time in studying from paper-based or audio-based materials. So you put more time in input part of studying English. But actually to study English and be able to use English, you want to put more time in output, meaning speaking and writing. If you're watching this video, you probably understand English fine. I'm speaking English right now and you probably are understanding. So then probably you are in a good place to start working on speaking and writing. And especially in this video, I will talk about speaking. While you work on speaking, probably you will keep working on your listening and reading skills. And there's one method I tried and it worked for me, and that is watching movies and series with subtitles on, English subtitles on. When you have English subtitle, you start to connect the spelling of the word and what you heard. That helps you build a better vocabulary. Having this visual and audio understanding at the same time strengthens your understanding of English. You can maybe listen, but if you can't write, it's not very strong. When you can hear and also see the spelling, then you'll probably be able to spell it when you want to write the word or write the sentence. So this is one thing that I recommend to you and will help your speaking skills as well. When you focus on output-based learning, one thing important is that to understand that writing and speaking are different. When you are in conversation, you can't ask this person to wait for 5 minutes for you to check the vocabulary and speak. When you're speaking, you have to say the sentence in the spot, and there's usually flow in a conversation, so you don't want to stop it every time. So that's also a different skill set from writing. Speaking in another language requires courage. I was very intimidated to speak English at the beginning. And one thing that helped me was to speak by myself when I'm alone. So when I was doing chore, I was speaking English, random things, or I was talking out loud in English. So I had a judgment-free environment to just experiment or try to use the word I learned. This judgment-free environment will help you to at least start talking in English, and that's the first step. Also, another thing you can try is to put on a timer and speak about one topic for 1 minute straight. You don't have to speak perfectly, but record it and you can come back and listen by yourself. What is the problem you have, what you want to work on, so that you can improve. This also helps you talk in general, not in English, but how you structure the topic in 1 minute. Although you can speak by yourself, it doesn't mean that you can speak in a conversation. So the next step is to speak with other people. So this is nerve-wracking for many of you. It was for me. And one of the things is that you can find a speaking partner online platform or in real life or on aatekt or on app like Tandem. I don't think I'm gonna go too much into details in this video, but you can find a partner to talk in English. You can practice a real life conversation. I used to take 30 minutes lesson every day, so it was something that involved somebody else. So although I didn't feel like it, I kept working on that every single day. It doesn't have to be really long, but 30 minutes lesson really helped me to be comfortable speaking in English. Usually we had one article we talk about beforehand so that we know what we will be talking in the lesson. And I took some time, maybe 10 minutes, to go through the article, read it, and look up some of the vocabularies I'm not familiar with, and also think about some of the things I have opinion on, so I already know what I'll be talking in the lesson. This helps you build the vocabulary and be comfortable speaking this topic, and you'll be able to speak a lot in the lesson instead of just listening to the teacher or talking about something that's random. So this simple system works really well to build vocabulary and be able to speak because you know the topic already. Being able to speak with a teacher is valuable because you can get feedback on the spot. One of the most effective ways to improve speaking English is to get feedback on the spot, so you can right away fix and start speaking in the correct way. Many people take lessons from native speakers, and yes, it is effective that they know the language the best and they have probably the best pronunciation, but it doesn't always mean that they have the best knowledge to teach English as a second language. So that's one thing you want to consider when you're choosing a teacher, because I sometimes teach my friends English, and I understand why one of my friends make this kind of specific mistake, because I was making the same mistake. So I know how to solve that problem and I know how to advise on them. When you're choosing teacher, it's good to assess if they know how to teach English instead of how to only speak English. And don't be too hard on yourself. The most important part of start speaking English is to let go of also perfectionism. Perfectionism slows the process, and it's very important to understand that making mistakes is an unavoidable part of making progress in learning English. It's okay to make mistakes, and teachers are there to correct your speaking. That's why they are there. But what's important is that you're speaking clearly, so don't be discouraged by not being able to speak perfectly. Just speak and improve as you study speaking English. It takes time to speak English fluently. It's okay that it takes time. Understand that more you work consistently, more you'll be fluent. So just make mistakes, a lot of mistakes, then know that that is necessary part of the progress towards being fluent. Because it's consistent and long process, it's very important to have fun while you learn English. I learned most part of my English from movies and series with the English subtitle, as I said earlier. Don't forget to have fun in the process of you learning English, and that's one of the most important part of learning how to speak English fluently. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.